Okay, today I want to talk about the elements of usability. All right, so a certain site, a certain element or activity or software or interactive element, app, or whatever that's going to involve some kind of interactivity should be thought of as usable. So, how many of you have ever had the opportunity where you thought, well, okay, I'm going to download this app because it's going to probably change my life, and you download the app and you find out this is so difficult to work with, and then you end up deleting it. All right, these are usability facts that you should probably think about when it comes to interactive elements to make your user experience a whole lot better. All right, so we're going to talk about usability and how that interacts, or how we interact. So usability is the use or ease at which users can learn, engage with, and get satisfaction from an interface for a website or piece of software. All right, so the interactive element should be easy to work with. It should work rather easily, more intuitive, and there's certain elements that we kind of look for in certain apps. Is how do you get around? What do you click on? What do you tap on? What do you press? What do you drag? What do you do? Anything of any kind of element you are going to look at as very intuitive. All right, to look at each of those elements to kind of like use them in some way. So the experience is all about the user, directly related to experience of a user on the site or interface. All right. It is not the developer. It is basically the user. How does it use? A developer, much in the same way as a graphic designer, we need to think in terms of who are we trying to sell to, or who is the person who's going to be using this application. Because if that user cannot use it, or has a hard time with it, it is not going to be a very good experience for them. So components to look for is page load times. All right, now if you have something that is very graphic intensive, has videos, has music, has all kinds of things going on it, you might want to reconsider that. Now, of course, in years past, this was more of something that we looked for all the time. With broadband and internet speeds, connection speeds, that's become a little bit more of a thing that we don't really look at a whole lot. However, it always has to keep in mind how fast can a page load, because if it doesn't load very quickly, then a user may just say, I'm going to find somewhere else to go to, especially with the website. If it doesn't load very quickly, they're going to go away because people are more and more impatient than they used to be. All right. Another thing is legibility. It's how easily is it read? Is it very easy to read? Is it very easy to comprehend? Are those factors that come into play? All right. Another thing that is thing to think about is handicap accessibility. All right. A lot of sites are using screen readers in order to read those. And if your site has more graphics than it does text, then it may actually fail in this accessibility element. Because some people need these accessibility or screen readers in order to actually see it. Sometimes they will magnify in on the site to kind of like read things better. And you always have to keep in mind, accessibility is always a factor when it comes to websites and other types of applications. All right? Is it easily scannable? All right. People don't read. Honestly, they don't. Instead, what they do is they scan it. They scan web pages just to be able to get the information that they want as quickly as they can possibly get it. All right, clear URLs. All right, which means clear URLs as far as clear links. I used to work with an agency that decided that they would actually create a website with a navigation of all these like interesting words like think, read, write, all these different types of navigational elements that were not clear as far as where they were going to. All right. Page titles are also an item that basically you want to pay attention to, because what that page title will do is also have search engine terms that Google will look at. So page titles need to define what is on that page as clearly as possible. All right, consistent design treatments. All right, so if a page has a certain design look, all the other pages should coincide with that. You wanted to avoid the thought going through somebody's head that they went to a place that they weren't supposed to. So if they clicked on a link and it went to some place that wasn't anywhere, doesn't look anything like the page they were just on, then they think they went somewhere else. You don't want them to think that way. So making designs consistent throughout the whole entire site is vital. Okay. Cross-channel usability. All right. So basically making it usable throughout the whole website. Making it everything kind of usable throughout every page, making things consistent is essential. Navigation. An area to link the user to various other locations on the site or interface. All right. Navigation is important. Usually it is at the very top. Now, long gone are the days when the navigation used to be on either the left or the right side, primarily over to the left of the site. That's not really a factor anymore. Most navigation takes place towards the top and across. Sometimes they will put the little, what they call a hamburger symbol, up in the top right corner that will designate where the menu is. But some sites do that in a desktop view, but it's primarily used a lot within phone applications. All right, phone applications will launch the menu to be able to go somewhere that will usually kind of like show up on the front like page. So you want to make sure the navigation is in a part where it can be seen quickly and usually in a consistent spot at the top. So if I were to look at this page, which again, these are very old type sites, and you look at this one, is there a definition of where the navigation is? And not really. So it probably gave you a few seconds and you probably had no idea where the navigation actually is. In fact, I couldn't really tell you where it is either. I would think that maybe it'd be towards the top, but it's not really. There's this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z links there, but that's not a navigation either. So where's the navigation? You shouldn't have to have people try and find navigation at all. This is more of a navigation where you got a logo up here at the top, you got navigation across it, and it's defined with simple words: home, about, portfolio, blog, contacts, products, services. Really quick type navigation elements that explain what that section is all about as quickly as possible and as clear as possible. All right, a lot of sites, when they are very, very deep, which means they have a lot of pages, will often have what is called breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs is kind of like this path from one page to another to another. So it's really the path to the user that is taken within a site structure. This is what is called breadcrumbs. You got the home, which goes to shows. Shows then go to my grandmother's ravioli. All right. So this is what is called breadcrumbs, where it's basically set up as something that's underneath the navigation toward the top that define where you are in that hierarchy. Links and buttons. A granular level of navigation that helps the user to get more information within the content of the area they are reading. This refers to the page, not the navigation. This refers to different sections that are defined that actually have links to go to other pages that will expand upon that section. So oftentimes links will link to references that are referred to, where buttons will go to state learn more and go to a page that explains more in depth. A lot of sites out there that are really good in usability will often have a site search. Now, if your page only has 5 pages, site search is not really necessary. But if you have a full-blown type of shopping cart type site like Amazon, you know that you probably go to the search to search for the thing that you want. Imagine doing Amazon without a search bar. Right? It would probably be difficult, and Amazon would probably be tanking right now. All right, so site search is critical when you have a lot of pages, but if you have a 5-page website, a site search isn't really going to do you much. So define what you need a site search for, and what's going to help you out with that. All right, submission forms. Submission forms are great for interactive elements if you are going to have a user come to the site and you want to capture a certain lead. Submission forms are great because you can capture somebody's lead, their information, so that wherever they're submitting to, they want more information, that you can contact them for sales or whatever that has to be involved in that. So here's an example of a submission form. Now again, submission forms should be clear, should be consistent, all right, should actually look like a form. So error messages. A lot of sites will have error messages that indicate a response. If you submit a form and it doesn't do anything, you kind of question, did it go through? Oftentimes if you fill out a form and you miss a field or something like that, you hit submit, they'll pop up a red message that says, please fill out this. That's a response. That's a response that's coming back to you to indicate that it is working. It's just you didn't fill in something. So always have an error message, or sometimes when you delete a page, an error message will come up basically saying page not found. That's critical because, again, if it click on something and you thought you were going somewhere and it doesn't do anything, you kind of question if the site's working. All right. So it's if you have an error message that kind of pops up, much like here, it's Google has, that's an error. Basically it was trying to find that and it didn't find it. So it's it leaves the page like that, where you can be very creative and create error pages on its own. It says, hold it right there. You think you can break our site and get away with it? We caught you. Okay, just kidding. It was really our fault and we're looking into it. Click the back button and try again while you wait. Sometimes error messages, if a page is not found, sometimes you can create them that have links to other sections of the site on the error page. So it's the error page could link to other pages that maybe you may want them to go. If it hits an arrow page and they were trying to go to a certain page, maybe link them to the contact form page to be able to say, hey, we couldn't find that page, but here, fill out our form and we'll be happy to help you figure out what you're trying to look for. So that's that. All right. So that is the usability standards. So go ahead and make basically the whole point of a site is to try and make it usable. Try to make it efficient, and make it for the user who's going to be using it in an easy and sufficient way. All right, so that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.